Well, surprise! I am currently 12 weeks today, and I know I mentioned in previous videos with all of our trying to conceive and our miscarriages and stuff like that, that this time around I was not going to announce till I was comfortable with telling the kids who had requested me not telling them right away. But with that, I've been documenting my whole first trimester. So I'm going to share that with you guys, but trigger warning, this is like very raw and real and emotional. Pregnancy after loss and trying for well over a year, all of that. So just know this is a very raw, real, emotional video of the first trimester and walking you guys through it. So let's get into it.
Well, maybe it was fate when you walked in the door. I could have sworn I've seen your face before. So glad that you said hi, 'cause I was way too shy. What would have happened? We're in trances, going all to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by.
So I'm on my way to go get some lab work done. So I found out I'm pregnant yesterday.
At the next light, turn right.
Found out I'm pregnant yesterday. Didn't film my day or anything yesterday. Honestly, it was weird yesterday. So I took it because I was a day late on my period, and I'm like clockwork when it comes to my period. When my app says it's gonna come, it comes. Like, there's no wavering. I'm very on time every single month. And I was late. So I took the test, and I didn't know how I was gonna feel. Obviously, Bobby and I still want a baby. We've
At
never
the light, turn right onto West Grenada Boulevard.
we've never stopped trying. We've just kind of left it up to God in this situation.
3.2 miles. Make a U-turn at Old Tomoka Road.
Left it up to God at this point. But I spent pretty much all day yesterday in an emotional roller coaster. I cried all morning. And it's not that I'm like sad about being pregnant, but that was like the feeling I was having. I think it was more fear of being pregnant again with everything that's gone on the past 12 months. So yeah, yesterday was just, I don't know. I didn't know how to feel, what to feel, nothing. All I know is I couldn't help but feel extremely anxious and just cry most of the day. So that was interesting. What was really interesting though is on Sunday when we were at my parents' house, and you can ask my mom, we were in the kitchen. I had just made the kids their plates for dinner, and I was standing next to Freya, and Freya started rubbing my belly. Now Freya would rub my belly when I was pregnant if we would like ask her where the baby is. But she's never just like randomly rubbed my belly. And she just randomly started rubbing my belly, and I'm like, Freya, what are you doing? And she told me she was rubbing the baby. I was like, no baby. And honestly, it got me really emotional, and I walked away from the situation. Well, needless to say, 2 days later, I take a pregnancy test, and it's positive. And the same day, yesterday, when I took the pregnancy test, I hadn't told Bobby yet, and Freya climbs up on my lap to cuddle and starts rubbing my belly and telling me she's rubbing the baby. So Freya's a psychic, or very in tune or something, because she has never done that. And before I knew I was pregnant, and then yesterday, right after, with us not telling the kids, she did it again. That's actually how I ended up telling Bobby. I told him that his daughter's psychic. So, honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to tell Bobby, but I was in such a foul mood. Not like angry, but like I was not in a good mood, and I was crying, and like he obviously knew something was wrong. So I ended up telling him just for the pure fact of I didn't want him to think I was like annoyed with him for some reason, when really my emotions were just extremely heightened. And yeah, I'm gonna go get blood work done, and we are doing blood work today, and then in 48 hours to check my HCG levels. I called the doctor right away when we found out, just because if there's something with my progesterone or whatever, at least we can see if we can catch it early. I don't know. We're just doing lab work to see. Well, leaving now. I didn't pass out, so that's a good thing. Sometimes I do. But I did not pass out. Thank goodness. So now I can head home. It luckily wasn't too long either. There was no one in there, so it was pretty quick in and out.
Ooh, got me feeling cool. Ooh, you got me feeling blue. Something but you so see through. Something just ain't right by you. Yeah. Can I do
All right, so it's a couple days later now. So Wednesday I went and got my first draw of to check my HCG levels. I did get those numbers back yesterday, and they were at 990. Which I honestly have no idea if that's good or not. Based off what the internet says of anywhere between 7 and 7,000, yeah, they seem good. But honestly, I think today's numbers are what matter the most, because it's seeing what was at Wednesday compared to today should be about a 50% or doubling, something like that. So I went into that. I'm now getting a car wash. Oh, I don't think though I'll have the numbers till Monday, because it's Friday right now. So my guess is they're not going to update the portal till Monday, which kind of blows. I kind of want to know right away what's going on. Even though I know this doesn't tell us everything, I'm just very, very curious. So I'm sure you guys are probably thinking symptom-wise, what's going on? And I'm right now 4 weeks and 3 days based off of my like tracking app that I have. And I've all the same symptoms that I've had with all the kids. So my boobs always get really, really tender. I'm exhausted, but I also like can't sleep. So insomnia. And when I do sleep, I have crazy vivid dreams. Very weird. Those are the biggest ones. Not very nauseous. Like every once in a while I'll get a random spurt of nausea, but not like waking up, going to sleep, whatever, nauseous. Yeah. Obviously the other day when I first found out, I was very emotional, and I have noticed my emotions have been heightened. So that is one thing also. That is one though that I never pick up on before pregnancy, just because around my period I get that same emotional swing. So for me, that's no different than just my cycle about to begin. But yeah, otherwise everything seems to be fairly typical. We'll see. I'm really interested to see what Monday looks like. If you're wondering why I'm doing my HCG tests so early, if you're new here, so I have 3 kids, but this is actually my 8th pregnancy. So I've had multiple miscarriages in the past, so doing this blood work is just to kind of see how it's progressing, how it's going. Hopefully we see that double, and this is going to be a healthy pregnancy, baby, all the things. We've been trying now for a really long time for this one, and last year was just miserable. Absolutely one of the hardest years was last year with everything. And yeah, I'm just hoping and praying and crossing my fingers that everything with this one looks good. So I will wait now till probably Monday to have any sort of clue. I don't even have my first doctor's appointment until March 11th, and it's only February 9th. So everything is so far out. And that's not even a doctor's appointment. That is just meeting with the nurse. So who knows when I'm going to see the doctor. So we'll see. I was kind of hoping with my history the past 12 months that they would get me in a little bit sooner to at least just peace of mind. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Just got my lab results for yesterday, which I was not expecting to get today since it's Saturday. And they did double. They're at 2,066. I'll put a picture up. I can't remember exactly. I think that's what it is. So that gives a lot of relief. They say they should double about every 48 hours. So if they were at 990, I needed them to be right around that 2,000. Would have been perfect. So now I just wait and see what the doctor wants to do. If they just keep my appointment for March, or they're gonna want me to get more blood tests. I don't know. I'm currently about 5 weeks pregnant. My head is throbbing this morning. Don't feel great. Something stinks in this house, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know if something actually stinks or if my smell's just heightened. I have no idea. And I have to start filming soon. A video to go up, which I figured I would film this portion because I feel like this is something a lot of people don't see. And a lot of people who see this cleaning video aren't even going to know I'm pregnant yet. But I'm exhausted, and I'm looking at my kitchen, and it desperately needs to be cleaned. But my head hurts, and I'm tired. It needs to get done no matter what, though. Film it, don't film it. It needs to get done. So I'm gonna eat eggs, hot sauce, and cheese because I am still doing the ketovore. It's actually good for me when I'm pregnant because I always get gestational diabetes. So sticking to a very low carb diet is good for me. So, it's been a couple days. I am currently 5 weeks and 3 days pregnant. Oh, symptoms have definitely jumped up. I haven't been like getting sick. I have thrown up like 1 or 2 times, but not like a lot. But that constant like nauseous feeling is definitely here. The other night I made salmon. I ate half of it. I knew I wasn't going to be able to eat it though, because when I was making it, just making it was making me feel sick. And then yeah, I took like 3 bites and I'm like, I cannot eat this. So it's been struggle with keeping the keto diet because things that are sitting nicely are things like rice and pasta and really bland food. So that has been what's been going on lately. I've also been dealing with headaches and what else? Obvious brain fog. But the nausea, the headaches, obviously just being exhausted. And man, I know I said I didn't want to tell people because, like with the kids last year going through 2 miscarriages, I don't regret telling them because honestly, I think in the future it'll be good for them. If they happen to ever be in a situation like this, like they know they're not alone. They would have seen their mom, dad go through it. And I know the first time it happened, I felt very isolated. And then soon found out that my mom had been through one, my grandma's been through a couple of them, but never knew. So I don't regret telling them, but I know I did make it like I did not want to tell the kids this time. But like I said, it's making it very isolating because right now the only people who know is Bobby and my mom. Because I told my mom right away that morning just because I was a hot mess. But so like the kids, when they're being hectic and crazy, and it's just like getting on my last nerve. I know if I could tell the boys, like, please, mama's going through this. Can you take it down a notch? Like, they're so sweet and loving. They would do it in a heartbeat. But I don't want to tell them. So I'm just like going crazy. Oh, but yeah, I have to film a video today. I film 2 videos a week and post them the following week. Well, currently it's Friday. I've only filmed 1 video just because I haven't been feeling great, and I still have to get a second video out. If I can't, I'll throw up a marathon video, but I hate doing that because I know so many people hate marathon videos. They're like, oh, you're just doing reruns, and they look at it like you're being lazy because you're doing that, and it's like, ugh. I would like to still get out a video, that way people have the motivation. So I'm gonna try and film a video today. I'm thinking I'm gonna make it like a realistic how to maintain a clean house cleaning video, but keep it like real vloggy, realistic type showing stuff. One, I think it'll be really good for people to see, but also I think not having to do like extreme major deep cleaning stuff like that will make it a little bit easier on myself. Worst come to worst, a marathon video goes up, people will tell me I'm lazy, and that'll be that. But that's what I'm up to today. I gotta start filming. Oh, it's Friday. Tomorrow Bobby and I are going up to St. Augustine, and yeah, so I don't even have tomorrow to film for it. And I try to get all the videos done by Friday. And I can't get behind because I know the first trimester is the hardest, but the other thing is like I have to think of when baby does come. Like I have to take some time off. So if I take a break and get behind, it makes taking time off difficult, which I know a lot of people are like, oh, just take time off. But it's like, if I don't post, I don't get paid. There's no vacation pay or anything like that. So I gotta plan ahead, strategize, all the things.
Well, I'm making her wet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be cuddling with me.
Yeah.
This is not cuddling. Yeah. We take a nap together?
Look, I'm so sleepy tired.
You're so sleepy tired? Me too.
Yeah.
Are you in your witch costume today?
Yeah.
Yeah? You got your, where's your hat?
Here.
There's your hat.
Yeah.
You put it on?
Yeah. No, I went.
All right. And then what does a witch say?
Hee hee hee. Yeah.
All right. I'm in bed because I am tired. Shock, dismay, I know. But I am 6 weeks, 4 days pregnant right now. I have not wanted to do an update because anxiety has been driving me crazy. I've noticed a lot of watery discharge the past couple of days, which can be normal, but I don't remember it being like this with any of my other ones. But the issue is constantly feeling that like wet, watery discharge. I'm constantly checking to make sure that I'm not bleeding or something. So just my anxiety's been insane. And part of me like didn't want to film this because in my back of my head I'm like, am I filming an update video that's never going to go live because I'm going to end up miscarrying again? And I know it's hard to get out of your head when you've gone through it so many times. It's really, really hard to not dive into the fear of that. So, but I figured I should jump on and I should talk about this because we don't know what's happening. When it's this early, it stinks because you haven't been to the doctor. Like, I had my blood drawn, but that's it so far. And I still don't go and see them for another 2-ish weeks. And even that's not the doctor, it's just the nurse. First trimester can just be so scary. It can be scary in general. But when you've dealt with loss, it can be really, really scary. I keep thinking that if I make it to my first ultrasound, like dreading that first ultrasound. I never dreaded ultrasounds before until my last one. I don't think I ever talked to you guys about that one. I kind of mentioned that that's how I found out about my miscarriage at was my 12-week scan, and found out that I had a miscarriage and the baby had actually passed at 10 weeks. And that was like the worst feeling in the world. And I hate it because like every other miscarriage has been early enough that once I hit like 8 weeks, I start feeling more comfortable. But that one being so late, and then going to the doctors, having the scan, it's just, it kind of ruined it. So I'm terrified of the ultrasounds now. It's one of those things of, I don't know, everyone's a little bit different, but like the ultrasound techs aren't supposed to talk about what they see. But if you've been pregnant before, like, you know what you're looking for. So like when I went in there and I didn't see the flicker or any movement, like I knew what happened. And she didn't say anything. And I didn't say anything. And when it was done, she sent me back to the waiting room without saying anything. And all I could think is someone going to confirm what I already know? So when they did finally call me back to talk with the doctor, the nurse came in first to take my vitals, and she went and took my blood pressure, and she's like, whoa, your blood pressure is really, really high. And she had no idea what had just happened. I just asked her, I'm like, what's wrong? Like, did I lose the baby? And immediately her face went flush because she didn't know. And she walked out and said she'd grab the doctor because she had no idea. And then the doctor came in and talked to me. So that memory just keeps going through my head.
I'm lucky on my one daughter.
Yeah?
Yeah. I want a daughter too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want one.
Freya's in here cuddling with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anxiety this time around has been really insane. I want that first appointment to happen, but at the same time, I am dreading it. So that's why I haven't jumped on in a little bit to update, and really didn't honestly want to jump on and do this one because part of me is like, am I just filming this to film it and then end up not showing anyone it? I don't know. But if this does go live, when I'm finally past this first trimester, I figured it's worth filming it so that people that might be feeling the same way and relate, like, can see that they're not alone. So I feel like that's the hardest part. You see all these first trimester pregnancy vlogs, and I watch them all. Like, I love watching any pregnancy vlogs when I'm pregnant. I soak them all in. But often they don't talk about this side of it. The fear, the anxiety of loss. Like, a lot of them talk about the fear of loss, but very few of them have actually gone through it, or gone through it multiple times to, like, just makes it hard. Part of me doesn't want to connect to this pregnancy, and then I feel guilty about not wanting to connect to this pregnancy. So, emotions are up and down roller coasters all the time. And then on top of that, I just feel so lonely. Like, Bobby knows, I know, and my mom knows. But that's it. I talk about it around Freya, but she doesn't understand, so that doesn't matter. But I just feel very, very isolated. I also think, like, as a mom, like, we always talk about how dads, the guys of the house protect their family, like, they have this protective role. And I think, like, obviously that's very, very true. But I don't think they talk about often how moms try to protect the hearts of their family. So a lot of times these feelings, I'm just like pushing them down, keeping them to myself, because I don't want to push that on to anyone else, like trying to protect the hearts of my kids and my husband and everyone else, and it can feel really lonely. So, hopefully my next update, I'm not such a baby. Good morning. I'm tired this morning, which I shouldn't be. It's 9:30. I should be fully awake, but I am tired. But I am 7 weeks, 2 days today. I am feeling better, not so much physically, but mentally, emotionally, I am feeling better, partially because I feel like absolute garbage, which sounds really, really weird because, like, I feel like garbage, so you would think that's not a good thing, but at the same time, if you get it, you get it. So mentally, I feel like a lot better because I feel like garbage. But I was thinking the other day, and I'm wondering if any of you guys have felt this who've had morning sickness. Like, I've had more morning sickness with this pregnancy than any of my other pregnancies. Like, my other pregnancies, I actually would say I never really got morning sickness. I would get sick, but it was usually after eating, and it was because my stomach, like, couldn't hold a lot of food. It was so squished, but never like nauseous morning sickness thing. I have been dealing with morning sickness, but when I thought of morning sickness, I don't know what I thought, but like, I'm not just like waking up and puking in the morning. Like, that's not what it is. I just have this overwhelming feeling of like being car sick, if that makes sense. So that's what I've been dealing with. Trying to talk myself out of not feeling that way now, but not like constantly puking, just that constant dizziness, nausea feeling. So, trying to clean up the kitchen. I have to get as much done as possible in the morning, because even though I don't feel great in the morning, I am so exhausted by about 2 o'clock that all I want to do is sleep. So I try to get as much done in the morning as physically possible so that if I pass out later on, it's fine. But yeah, I am feeling better today. I am less emotional. Sorry, I can't help that. Oh, new symptom I've been dealing with, which isn't fun because I've been hungry at night, and like hungry to a point that I start feeling nauseous if I don't eat something. But if I eat too late at night, then I'm waking up in the middle of the night, not only having to pee, but also with heartburn. So between having to pee, weird, vivid dreams, and then heartburn, sleep is fun. Oh, these first 12 weeks are always the hardest. And you know what? It stinks because you guys know I usually am all about you share when you want to share, when you are comfortable. But society tells us that we shouldn't share our pregnancy till after 12 weeks. When I feel like the first 12 weeks are when you need the most help. Like, I realize we're not hugely pregnant yet, but the first 12 weeks are like some of the hardest. The first 12 and then the last 10, 12. But the first 12 are so hard. You're tired, you're sick, like your whole body just feels like it's been hit by a freight truck. And you're not supposed to tell anyone. You're supposed to put a smile on your face so that no one knows that you're pregnant when you feel like garbage. That's unfair. That is a cruel, unfair thing that we put into women's head that we shouldn't tell people because it might make someone uncomfortable if something happens with the pregnancy. And then they go through the first 12 weeks alone. Obviously Bobby knows, my mom knows, but still, like, I haven't told my dad, I haven't told my sisters, we haven't told Bobby's family, and I feel like they think I'm probably ignoring them on Marco Polo and stuff, and when really it's just like, I don't want to talk, I feel like garbage, I just want to sleep. So, what is it? It is February 28th, I believe, today. I have my first doctor appointment March 11th, so still like 2 weeks away. I feel super bloated though. Here, we'll try and do this. So I realize I'm only 7 weeks, so there's not much going on there, but I feel bloated, like can't suck that in. And like, I don't think people don't talk about, like, with it not being your first pregnancy, that all those, like, it's not a baby bump, but like all my organs already started moving around and changing because they've done that before and they just know what they're doing. So yeah, I feel bloated, can't suck that in, it's uncomfortable to lay on already. So I don't feel like I look pregnant, I feel like I just look fluffy. And I'm not an itty bitty little girl already, so that's fun. And I was doing so good at losing weight. I'm not complaining at all. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So stick, baby, stick. I am ready to have some peace of mind. Cross my fingers. Like I said, I feel like crap, but me feeling like crap makes me feel better. So we'll see you next update whenever I jump back on. I just got out of the hot tub and had to get some food really quick. because I felt like I was going to throw up or pass out. That is where I'm at, can't talk. That is where I'm at recently. If I eat too much, I feel like I'm gonna puke, or I get nauseous. If I don't eat, like when I get hungry, it's like, eat now, or you're passing out, or you're throwing up. So, oh, and don't worry, we have the hot tub turned down. That way I can still enjoy it, but I didn't eat earlier because I wasn't feeling great. And then, yeah, I go in the hot tub to relax and feel better. And I went from fine to, I need to get out and eat something now, or I'm going to pass out. Which is weird because that's not me. Like, I'm someone that I can eat one meal a day and I'm fine. Actually, that's pretty normal for me. So this now of randomly throughout the day, like, no, you're hungry and you need to eat this very second or you're gonna be sick. So I figured I would jump on real quick in this moment. So if you are dealing with these moments, you can see, yep, me, same. Even with my hair up crazy in my robe, I quickly grabbed some string cheese and threw some leftovers in the microwave, which are cooking now. But I had to get the string cheese first because I was literally at a point where I needed food in my mouth right this second. Oh, the fun of the first trimester. What am I? I am 7 weeks, 4 days, I believe. I believe I'm 7 weeks, 4 days. So, but I still would rather have these symptoms and feel like crap than no symptoms and my anxiety driving me insane. Hello. I am currently parked at the kids' school. Once a month they do a Kona Ice, like, food truck that comes. So whenever it comes, I always let the kids get their Kona Ice. So I am waiting for them as they wait in line. But I figured I'd do a quick, I am 8 weeks, 1 day pregnant today. And so far everything's okay. I'm still sick. My boobs still hurt. I'm still tired. I know, all the symptoms I've been talking about are still around. And when they're not around, anxiety and depression is full force. So I feel like even on my good days, like, oh, I don't have a headache today, I don't feel sick today, I'm almost in worse shape because mentally I'm in such a dark place. So yeah, that's what's been going on. But so I heard this girl bring this up the other day, and I wanted to bring it up because she made so much sense. So next week is my first appointment, and it's with the nurse. And I feel like it's pretty common between 8 and 10 weeks is your first appointment, and it's usually with a nurse. Very rare occasions is it with a doctor first or an ultrasound first. But she mentioned how it makes no sense that we don't do an ultrasound first at like 7-8 weeks as our first appointment. And I was thinking, I'm like, it really would make a lot more sense. One, you'd have viability figured out before going and talking with your doctor and stuff. And obviously things can happen, but it gives you a lot of information. Dating is more accurate when you get those early ultrasounds. But the other thing she mentioned is how many ectopic pregnancies would get caught if we did that as the first appointment. And I'm like, that is so true. Why don't we? Like, we are told by our doctors, like, all right, we'll see you in 2 months now that you found out you're pregnant. But if you have crippling pain, cramps, go to an ER because you're probably rupturing from an ectopic pregnancy. And I know a handful of women that have had ectopic pregnancies. Some have been really lucky and caught it on time. Others who now have a very low chance of ever getting pregnant again because they lost their tubes. Like, I think they say, I think it's 7 to 8 weeks is like usually the like key points in an ectopic pregnancy that stuff can go wrong. But yeah, I was like, why don't we? Why is our first appointment 8 to 10 weeks with a nurse instead of 7 to 8 weeks early ultrasound? Wouldn't that make so much more sense? I feel like it would make so much more sense in women's health if we did it that way. I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. If any of you guys are OBs and want to weigh in of why this is, that as women we're just told, well, basically if you're rupturing from an ectopic pregnancy, here's the signs, instead of trying to prevent by having an early ultrasound. Just interesting. So, but yeah, I have an appointment on Monday. Actually, Monday is next week's crazy busy. Monday, I have my first appointment. Tuesday, Bjorn has a field trip. Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. Now I'm losing track of what days it is. The 13th, whatever day the 13th is. Bobby flies to Wisconsin to help finishing stuff up with Grandma to get Grandma moved down here. And then Friday we have the science fair, the like regional science fair that I have to take Xander to. So everything's absolutely insane. I did find a pediatrician for the kids, which you guys are probably thinking I'm insane that we've been down here for this long and haven't found one. I have been waiting because I don't like just finding a place. It's also hard to find a place that takes our insurance because it is military insurance. I don't know why it's difficult, but it is. But I'm actually really, really glad I waited. We've done just like yearly physicals, just not with like a primary. We've done it with the kids through other ways. But I knew with having a baby, like it's not just a yearly physical for the kids. Like it's more in depth. And I've been wanting to get them a primary anyway. So I'm going with a physician through Advent Health because in the time that we've been down here, we've used Halifax before. Fine. Now we have just found that Advent has had the best. So Advent is where I'm going through with my doctor. Bobby, with all of his medical stuff, has always been way happier with Advent over Halifax. So now having our pediatrician through Advent, I think it'll just all work better and all blend together. So I have that all set up now, which is a nice peace of mind because you never know when it's like, oh, we need a doctor's note. And like I said, yearly physicals, it's fine. It's easy to get a yearly physical for kids, even without a primary physician. But the issue is like, if you need a doctor's note for something or anything like that, then it's just like, so I have to go to an urgent care or something just for a doctor's note. So I wanted to get this done. That way, when baby does come, it's like, yep, we're already set with a pediatrician, especially since you know you have those like first appointment that's like at 3 days old, and then they have just more regular that first year of life, where it's very, very regular. So yeah, but that is my week 8 update. I don't know when I'll jump back on here. I feel like I've just kind of been jumping on here when the time feels right, when I've got things to talk about, depending on how I'm feeling physically, emotionally, all the things. So I'll definitely be on next week, either right before my doctor's appointment or right after, to fill you guys in on that. I won't be quite 9 weeks. It's the day before I turn 9 weeks, so almost. All right, so first appointment is done. Honestly, there's nothing really to talk about. It's just going over all the basic stuff of pregnancy. So history, all of that. I have another appointment in 2 weeks for my first ultrasound, which is giving me anxiety already and making me upset because all I keep thinking about is the last one. So, hopefully that one goes well, because honestly just thinking about going is just giving me anxiety. It's going to be about the same time that I had my last one, and it's not a good memory to look back on. So I'm a little anxious about that. I was hoping I'd be able to get one sooner just to ease my nerves.
At the next light, turn left.
That's not going to happen. So Bobby's also going to be out of town for that one. So I was kind of hoping he'd be around for it so I wouldn't have to go alone. But he's still going to be in Wisconsin preparing to get grandma down here.
At the light, use the left 2 lanes to turn onto Bevel Road.
I feel stupid for crying because I shouldn't be crying, but it's like anxiety, nerves, pregnancy, hormones, all that fun stuff. Oh, but yeah.
Turn left.
I'll be happy when that one's done. I just hope everything's good and easy, because right now, yeah, my anxiety is just over the top. All right, so I just got off talking with my mom on Marco Polo. She is going to come with me to that ultrasound. I just started by saying, and nothing's wrong. I'm crying because I'm anxious and nervous and all the things. But she said she'll come with me. So at least I'm not going by myself, which is good, because if my nerves are this fried today, I don't know what they're going to be that day. So it'll be nice to have someone there with me. So I'll leave the boys. My sister's actually going to be in town with 2 of her kids for spring break, and my kids will be on spring break. So she doesn't know I'm pregnant yet. But I figure come that day, either I'm going to get the news that I really pray for and everything's good, and I'll be comfortable enough telling more family, or something wrong's gonna happen. They're gonna know anyway because I'm gonna be a mess. So her knowing come that day is pretty much inevitable anyway. But yeah, my mom at least said she'll come with me just so I have some sort of support system that day, because yeah, right now thinking about it just has me very, very anxious. When that is the memory of your last ultrasound, it's hard not to just like excited because I want to see the baby, but also really hoping I don't have the same experience as last time. Don't mind the horrible lighting. It's dark out and I am in the hot tub, so this is what it is. But so I am currently 10 weeks pregnant. So because with every single pregnancy I get gestational diabetes, and with Freya I had to be put on medication for my fasting numbers, which is your blood sugar right away in the morning. That's the one number you can't control with diet. They had me do an early GD test, which I normally fail anyway. So I did the 1 hour, failed that, and last time with Freya, I opted out of the 3 hour and just went straight to checking my numbers, because if you've done the 3 hour, it's miserable. And I've always failed it. So instead of doing the 3 hour, I'm just keeping track of my numbers. And so far they're fine. Usually it doesn't become an issue till like 30-ish weeks that it starts actually becoming a thing with my fasting numbers and whatnot. But this is just a good way to keep track, because you don't want your numbers to spike. That can cause issues with the baby and weight gain and stuff like that. So I'm doing that already. And the other thing is, like, even if I would pass my 3 hour, they would still make me retake it at 20 weeks. So I might as well just start testing my blood now. And for me, this is a lot easier than doing the 3 hour. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but it's also not the end of the world, so it's fine. Yeah. Wednesday, I have my ultrasound, which I'm still like, I don't know, I'm excited about it, but I'm also very nervous. Like, it's a hard one. It's a hard one to think about, but as long as everything goes okay, like, that's honestly it. I'm excited for it and nervous for it all at the same time. But yeah, that is why I'm checking my blood sugars. I know a lot of people may be like, oh, this is really early. Like, often they don't have you take the GD test till after 20 weeks. But I figured I would explain, because I've had it with every pregnancy. It's one of those things of, they just test it early, especially since with Freya, I was on medication for it. So we'll see how it goes in the long run. But yeah. Fun fact though, it doesn't matter how healthy or unhealthy you are, gestational diabetes is not your fault. I saw a TikTok the other day and I'm pretty sure he was a doctor, basically saying that gestational diabetes was the mom's fault, which is 100% not true. But I don't know. That was very interesting. So if you are nervous about GD, just know it's not your fault. It's all based off of your hormones and your placenta, which, fun fact, your placenta is made by the dad's DNA, not your own. So technically you can blame it on him. But yeah, it's not your fault if you're getting it. And it's not fun to deal with, but it's also not something to be anxious and nervous and scared about. It's usually very, very easily managed, even if you have to get on medication. It's not the end of the world. Plus, bonus, when you get it, you normally get to see your baby a lot more, because they do more scans closer to the end of your pregnancy. So a little bit of a bonus there. For you too. Hey!
What's that? Are you pregnant? So that's what I was... Oh, that's amazing! It's a birthday. It's so big!
So, that's the head, and it's got like its hand on its head like this.
It's gonna be a dramatic baby.
You see.
That's so cute. That's cute. Can I see it? Oh, wow.
You're gonna be a big sister.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a big sister.
Yeah.
We're past all the scary stuff.
Wow.
I didn't tell you till we're past it all.
I'm a big sister.
So.
Too.
That's why I went with your
I'm
mom
a
today.
big sister. Yeah, It's your mama.
Baby sister?
She's been saying that.
I want me to play house or not play house.
You gonna play house with the baby? Okay.
I play it.
And you can tell them
There's not two.
who's gonna say?
It's just one baby, not two babies. So if you've been wondering why Mommy has been so sick lately and tired,
Small baby. No.
Freya. Let me see.
Freya, let him see.
Be kind, Freya. Gotta share. Look how cute the baby.
I want to see
Cute the
this.
baby is.
Yes.
Is that cute?
I like bed.
Oh, I figured I'd fill you guys in real quick on everything from yesterday as I washed my face. As you can see, we told the kids, I don't know if you could hear my voice, but when I told the boys that we had waited till we were like to the safe point to tell them, I was starting to tear up. I could tell on the kids' faces already that they were just still nervous. And last time I had a miscarriage, I asked the boys, I'm like, next time if we get pregnant again, do you want me to tell you right away or do you want me to wait? And they had both asked to wait, which is why we haven't told anyone this time around. I think it's important to share because like it can feel very lonely when you're going through it. But in this situation, it was more important to me to make sure my kids felt protected and comfortable than sharing on social media. So that is why we didn't share early this time. But yeah, you could, especially like Xander, I could see on his face, like he was nervous. So that's why I pointed out right away that we waited. Like the doctor even said yesterday at this point after getting the ultrasound, how far along I am, like the chances of something happening are greatly decreased. So, but I was really glad my mom was there. It was just nice to have someone's hand to hold. The ultrasound tech was the same tech that did my last ultrasound. So nerves were just crazy, but I have to say, like the second I saw the heartbeat, because if you had kid, like you know what you're looking for, you know that flicker, you know the movement. So the second I saw that flicker and then the baby like jump, I started crying. Instantly started crying because it was just a huge relief to have seen that and know everything was okay. My face is breaking out. So I just use a tinted moisturizer. One, it covers little imperfections, but it also has SPF in it and it's moisturizer, so this is what I use. But yeah, it was really nice to have my mom there. And then it was really nice to tell the boys by showing them the photos. It's funny, ever since day one, Freya has been saying it's a baby sister. Obviously, we don't know. And I don't know if we're going to find out. We've been saying for a while, with this being our last one, that we may want this to be like a surprise. Obviously, we'll see when that time comes. I know you can figure out when you get like the genetic testing and stuff done. So I don't plan on getting the genetic testing done for multiple reasons. But the big one being is it wouldn't change anything. Like, no matter what genetic testing would say, it wouldn't change anything for us. So I personally know myself and know that it would just stress me out. This is just a Color Street chapstick. But yeah, I just know personally it would stress me out. So I don't plan on getting that done. So then the next time to get it obviously would be the anatomy scan. So we'll decide then if we still plan on waiting or not. So currently I'm thinking we're still going to have it be a surprise. We'll see. Things could change. There's no guarantee for anything. What else? Oh, doctor brought up the idea of possibly getting my tubes tied when I have this one, because I have C-sections, so if they're in there already, I wouldn't opt to have my tubes tied if I wasn't having a C-section. However, if I'm having a C-section, it's one of those things of I might just do it. And I really, really think this is the last time. Honestly, after trying this time for baby number 4, it has been such an emotional roller coaster. I really, really don't see us ever wanting to try again and go through this again. Like, we really, really wanted baby number 4. I don't see changing my mind for a 5th. I just don't see that happening. So I have to figure that out, though. I have to do some research. Like, hormonally, is it going to affect me? All those things. Like, I just want to figure all that out before I say for sure. Yeah, that's it so far. I am 11 weeks, 2 days today. So, 1 more week and I'll be at my 12 week, which, do you guys consider hitting 12 weeks your first trimester or 13 weeks? I don't know. I get so confused by that. Some people say 12 weeks, the first 12 weeks, and then other people say not to hit 13 weeks. So I don't know. But now that we've seen the baby, we've seen the heartbeat, and this far along, I do feel a lot more comfortable sharing with people. Bobby should be home tomorrow, hopefully. He leaves today with grandma. And the reason I say hopefully is, like, it depends on how well she handles the drive. It may take him a bit longer to get home, but he leaves today. So I need to get this whole house back in order, because moving Xander back into the boys' room and then Freya into Xander's old room and then setting up grandma's room, like, the rest of the house has been neglected, but I needed to get that stuff done. But I also don't want Bobby and grandma to get home to the house being a wreck. So today and tomorrow, I need to literally clean every single room of this house and get it, like, back to ground zero, spotless. So that is my goal today. So I'm just sitting in the car real quick because the kids are dropping their stuff off inside. I picked them up from school. We have a doctor's appointment today. But I'm officially 12 weeks pregnant. Woo! So everything seems to be doing well. Symptoms are all the same. I'm hoping, I do feel like I am getting a little bit of energy back. And I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping everything starts mellowing out as we start moving into the second trimester. Because, man, doing anything lately has been exhausting. So, we actually just told grandma today. So she now knows, everyone knows, and now you guys know. On to the next one.